I just want, it's funny because like most of the time people are like, I have questions. Here's the questions. Or we didn't even talk about anything before this, y'all. So it's going to be so fun. Kellie, can you just kind of introduce yourself and tell your story? Like, I want to know from the very beginning, like, who is Kellie Brown?
Okay. Yes. Hi, sister. Hey, y'all. Okay. I'm excited to be here with you. I'm so thankful that you have me here. Okay. Well, you see, a long time ago, no, I'm just kidding. But when I was a kid, my dad, the end of the story is before he passed away, he was like my best friend. Okay. So I want to preface it with that because he really changed a lot at the end of his life. But as a kid, there was a lot of domestic violence. Okay. My mom and I had to like flee and go into hiding in a women and children's shelter. And it was kind of out in the middle of nowhere in Texas. And then we stayed there for like 2 years in hiding. And then you get adopted by another family out of hiding, basically to transition back into the real world, to help you get a job, to help you have a place to live. It's like pretty crazy. I mean, I guess when I talk about it, I'm like, oh, that's kind of crazy. But
Like witness
anyway,
protection program.
it is like that. But it's for moms with kids. And it is exactly that. So there's like police protection, all that kind of stuff. And so this little Jamaican couple, Nick and Bernie, we lived with them. And and then from there, we ended up moving to Oklahoma to a trailer park. And that's where I stayed, till I was a big kid. So where that comes into play, though, is that we know that 80% of this business is your mindset and what you think. And so to me, no one ever made fun of me in high school for coming from a trailer park. Nobody cared. You know what I mean? But to me, I would like break out in a sweat when my friends would want to go shopping at Abercrombie and Fitch. Or like, I mean, that sounds dumb, but I mean, I was like, they're going to know I'm poor. Like they're going to know I shouldn't be in the store. As an adult, my husband made me go to the Louis Vuitton store and bought me a purse. And I was like, please don't make me go in there as a grown up, like with kids. Like on the inside, the Lord had to do some work, and still even now, and I didn't even know those issues were in there. So, so coming into this business, I was like, first of all, I didn't know it was an industry. I didn't know people made money doing stuff like this for real. I thought it was like Mary Kay, Avon. You spend a bunch, you might make something. I don't know. But $55 a month, I was like, okay, if I could just make $55 for ballet classes for my daughter Nova, that's like, I don't hope for much more than that. Okay. My faith and my belief was like this big, so that's what I started for. I became a customer first, and then, Stacy kept asking me, maybe you should try this, and I was like, okay, whatever. So I'll try. And $55 a month, that's what got me in the door. And, then it grew, and I was like, maybe in a year I could go Ruby. Maybe if just a year and I could go Ruby and make a few $100 a month, because we were living paycheck to paycheck. Y'all, my hope as a grown up was that I would make $12 an hour and be able to like not struggle, because we couldn't afford the rent. We couldn't afford groceries, clothes, the utilities, nothing. And people would always come. My mom worked a ton of hours, and they would come to the door and deliver money or clothes or shoes, and I would have to accept it because she's gone. So to me, I was on the receiving end all the time. So I hoped as an adult someday I could give, because I had been so given to, you know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of mindsets, and, doing this business, it like shines a light on all the things you think you're fine about. Like, you know what I'm saying? And everybody comes from all these different walks of life, and you're dealing with the little kid version of every big girl that comes into your business, and where they come from, what they've done or had done to them, what life has happened. Those things are still, a part of who they are. And so, coming into this business, I was like, girl, I don't need no $2,000 a month, because that's like for the lucky people. I need $55. Can I do that? And if the answer is possibly, then sign me up, buttercup. And that's where I started out at. And so that's what made me say yes.
So I love it. I love it. So it's so funny because I think most people have like these big expectations and are like, oh, I mean, $500 a month. And if I don't get that in the first month, then I'm quitting,
Mm-hmm.
And it's like these expectations of if I don't, then, but really, like, I've never heard somebody say that. And it's so true that like this business shines a light on all of the issues that you really didn't know you had. Like you thought you were cool in that area, but because like there's no makeup in this business. Like you can't cover up, because at some point you're going to be under pressure, or you're going to be in a situation and that is going to come out. And it's just going to be an interesting deal. I mean, I've definitely had that happen where I was like, I thought I was one way, and then a situation happened and I was like, that is not the person who I thought I was. And so I love that. I love that you said that. So you hopped in for $55 a month, and then what happened?
And I was at John and Sherry's house at a team training thing, Sherry and I'll call it. And I was like, y'all, if I could just be a stone, that'd be cool. Like, I mean, I was like, Ruby was like a big deal. Okay. I was like, I just go Ruby. Okay. And so when I started, you know, everybody starts at the same place for loyal customers, right? So y'all, I was so scared, break out in a sweat to post on social media. Okay. I mean, like panic. Okay. And so I immediately, I don't know why, I started posting for the business, not the products. I didn't want to put before and afters, and I was scared. I don't know. I don't know why I was so scared. I just was. And so I went straight to, I'm going to make an extra $500 a month from my phone. And if you could use an extra $500 a month from your phone, message me or comment below. And all these people started messaging me going, what are you doing? Like, what? Why are you saying that? Like, right? Because it's like, here I was like posting once every 6 months. I was mostly on there just talking to my friends and staying connected to people, not even using social media. I didn't even like think social media was cool. I'm like, lame. And so all of a sudden I'm like getting on there. Hey guys, join my team. You know what I mean? But everybody started messaging me. So I started signing distributors and no customers. I was like totally backwards. And then Stacy, who's my enroller, I'll call her. She was like, okay, well, you just need your 4 little customers. Now I know she just won that fast start bonus. Okay. No. But she was like, okay, well, you just need your 4 little customers. I was like, I don't think I can do that. So I just kept posting for distributors. Why, I don't know. But anyway, and I signed a few of my red friends, right? Because I'm not red at all. I'm like, let's have fun. They'll be like, where are we going? I don't know. It'll just be fun, right? So I signed a couple red friends, and they started signing people. And so, hi, Brian. So, you know, in about 6 months, I went diamond and got the $10,000 diamond bonus. And I quit my job. We were in full-time ministry. My husband was full-time ministry. I was part-time. And then I had a tiny wee little baby and a 2-year-old, and starting this business. And so I quit my job because it was paying me more than my job, really. And came home to my girls full-time. And I was like, okay, panic. Because guess what? My Emerald quit. And she's one of my best friends, still one of my best friends. And I was like, well, I didn't get here by myself. How the heck am I going to? Right. That's my nervous fingers, right? I was like, I didn't do this on my own in the first place. And I came here for $55. And now, holy smokes, I'm in this diamond place. And what the heck? I wasn't even here for this, right? And now you want me to go double diamond. I don't even know what the heck I'm doing. So I got stuck on the inside. And I was like, okay, here's what happened. And this happened a couple of times, getting stuck, okay? Here's what I've always said. I know how to work hard because I grew up with nothing. So anything I wanted, I had to go work for it. Okay. So, and I'm not scared to work hard. I'm not a quitter is what I kept saying to myself. I don't start things and not finish them. Okay. I'm not a quitter, but I was never saying I'm a winner, that I can, that I deserve, that I'm worth, that, y'all want to know my secret? This is my secret. Here's my dream board. I don't even post that stuff unless Sherry makes me. Like Sherry Lynn, someone else will be like, sis, put your dream board. I'm like, I put it, I like hide it. Okay. Because you guys, that's an inside internal thing that I was like going, I didn't come here for a dream. I didn't come here for a big paycheck. I came here for $55 a month, and I got myself in this place of leadership and this place of success going, Lord, who am I? I'm the trailer park kid. Like, I didn't sign up for this, like, position, right? I love people and I have a good time and I love the Lord and that's it. Okay. So I felt like it shined a light on some spots on the inside that I was going, well, now I got to make a decision if I want to, like, go for this thing or not. And can I? Like, I know Kelsey can do it, but can Kellie Brown do it? I know Stacy or Sherry Lynn, I'll call it, can do it, but can Kelly? Because we know all the same people. Like, I mean, like, I know they can, but can I? Like, what? Who am I? Right? And so I got a little bit stuck in there. And each time you promote to a new rank, your mindset has to grow with that position. And that happened a couple times in the process. But
So what do you feel like helped get you out of that? Because I think, I always say it's like so important because we often talk about like in a year I promoted to double and we talk about like how quickly we went, but like there's a lot of stuff that happens in the meantime, right? Like it's not like this. It's like
and some of it is not cute.
no, none of it's cute to me. Like, look at this is what mine looks like.
I know. I'm like, it's fun when everybody else is having fun, but when other people aren't having fun, I'm like, count me out. That's not good, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Consistency for me is not good. Like, if what I'm doing consistently is not fun,
I know.
I'm out. That's not good. Don't do what I do.
Yeah, seriously. So I gotta go. I gotta run.
I know.
I'm here for it, but I'm not here for that. So I think like one of the questions that I have is, so really to diamond, like you hit it and then you hit some bumps, right? It wasn't exactly what you expected. It wasn't like I hit diamond and now I'm good, right? It was
right.
I hit diamond and oh shit.
And now I'm a business owner. Wait, I didn't sign up for a business. I signed up for $55.
I just want all the perks, but none of the responsibility.
It's not hit it and quit it? Oh, my bad.
It's not it? Okay. So, but my question is like, so you felt that way. You had that block, right? And this has happened to me multiple times where I hit a block and I don't necessarily remove the block, but I can push it to the side just enough to hit the next one. And then I keep going, but then the same block comes up. So what do you feel like you did to push yourself to go double? Like, what was that? What did that look like? Like, was it a decision? Oh, sorry, hold on. Was it a decision? Was it something said to you? Was it an event? What was
it? Each time the roadblock came, it was if I don't get, my mom says, poop or get off the pot. So if I don't get my hiney in gear and light a fire under my keister, I'm going to lose this. And I didn't come this far to come this far. Remember, I'm not a quitter. So I would get enough of this, I'm not quitting, to go, but I was never saying, I'm a winner, I can. It was always out of fear-based. And fear-based promotion can only get you so far. But when you're trying to go VIP, triple, presidential ambassador, you can't just be not a quitter. You've got to change that I'm not a quitter to I can and I will. And when I do, to God be the glory. Do you know what I'm saying? There's a mindset shift of I'm not quitting. So that's like a push mentality. I'm pushing. We're going to push. We don't even say that word. Okay. I don't say push. I say I'm running. You know why? Because it puts me in a position of being up and the wind behind me. But if I'm pushing, think about that. I'm pushing all my people up this mountain. That sucks. You know what I'm saying? I'm not discouraged. I'm determined to rise above. I'm not pushing. I'm running. And whoever wants to come is invited. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a quitter. I'm a winner. I can and I will. And that's where each time I had to come to a new place of, Kellie, you're right. You're not a quitter, but you've got to let that go. And you've got to decide that this is for you. And it's not just for you. It's for your people, for your team. You know, you're not the only benefiter, if that's a word. You're not the only one that gets to benefit in this process. And, there was a lot of like, I'm not willing to do for myself, but I'm willing to do for other people. Myself is always like, Kellie doesn't need this. Kellie doesn't want that. Kellie doesn't this. mindset shifts. So, so then, that was going diamond. And then, the boom season happens January to May. So we went double, we went triple like 2 months later, and then stall out again. And I was like, holy smokes, looking at this mountain of volume and DTs you need for presidential. And I'm going, shoot. Once again, I'm like, oh, dang it. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? And so that brought me to this last fall, October, and I had a surprise baby, and my husband was working like a gajillion hours, like 70 plus hours a week. It was insane, nuts. And I was like, I need you to come home. And, had a third tiny sister, boom. And, then we decided to move from Texas to Nevada, which is where we are now, where his family lives. And so lots of transition, babies, life, and so I'm like, I really got to get back on my business, but I have to pack my boxes and have a baby and move. And you know what I'm saying?
And it's fun. I'm getting things done when I'm packing my boxes, and I don't get instant gratification from sending out the messages.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, I was still signing people. I didn't just not do my business, but it wasn't enough to momentum forward, and then, we had some life. I had one of my top leaders get cancer at like 35, and another one was having deaths in her family. Another one was having babies. Another one, like, we had it all across the board. Lots of crazy things happened in 2017 on our team. Weird, like really crazy stuff. So, anyway, so last fall, okay, you want me to keep going? Okay. So this last fall, October, okay, I was like, oh, dang it. I log into my eSuite, okay, and it's double diamond me. I'd fallen from triple to double, and my husband from diamond to executive, okay, and my paycheck was $3,000. And that was like, I brought my husband home, okay. So this was our only income. We just bought a new house, 3 tiny people, $3,000. I was like, okay, I'm not going to panic. I'm not a quitter. There it goes. That's the thing on the inside. I'm not, Kellie Brown, you're not a quitter. You're not a quitter. And so Andrew was like, well, maybe, his brother-in-law was wanting him to come work some hours. And so I was like, well, we brought you home. I didn't bring you home to make you go back and get a job. So I was like, you got to do something. Like, I got on the inside, and even to Andrew in the kitchen, I was like, I got to do something. There's got to be, if everybody else can do this, why can't I? Like, I'm like, what's wrong with me that I can't like do something? So it was a decision. And sometimes people hate, even me, I found myself hating when people say, so what'd you do? It was, I decided. Yeah, okay. I've decided lots of times, and it didn't help my business. Right? Has anybody ever said that? So I'm like, yeah, I decided too. And it didn't do anything to my eSuite. No, I decided. So I was like, I'm just being for real. Okay. Can I tell you what else I wasn't doing? I wasn't doing self-development. Okay. Because I was like, girl, I don't have time for self-development, first of all. And what's listening to a book going to get LCs and DTs in my eSuite and change my rank? Listening to a book ain't going to do that. So I was being stubborn. Guess what else I wasn't doing? Host to post. So here I was working my brains out, messaging 5 million people on Instagram all the time. And I was like, no, I don't need a host to post. No, I don't need self-development. No, I don't need all these things. I'm like, what a dumb I was. And so in October, when I had this come to Jesus moment, I was like, Glory, if I don't do something, okay, we ain't going nowhere until you stop and do something. So what did I do? I did all the things. All the things. I was like, I'm doing host to post, and I'm going to do it till it works for me. I'm doing self-development because if everybody else is doing it, then I need to do it too. Like everything. I was like, I'm doing all the things. Instagram, Facebook, everything. And there's no secret. That's the answer is there's no secret script. I'll tell you anything I say. Anything you want to know, you can have it. There's not a secret. I steal half of what I say anyhow. Okay. And throw in pink heart emojis because I talk with lots of emojis. So there ain't no secret, nothings. I just got my keister to work, and I took everyone with me that I possibly could. So I come in here, 5:30 in the morning, self-development, talking to Jesus. Lord, you can do this better than I can. And that's what I was telling him. I'm like, I need your help desperately because I cannot stay in this place of lack. I cannot see myself going backwards. I want to get the job done. you know? And so I started going live and just being excited with my teammates. And it was crickets at first. Let me just be real. Okay. Because here's what I had done wrong. I kept looking to my poor leaders who have been with me since the beginning. Okay. And going, okay, are you guys excited? We're going to do this thing and I'm ready and we're going to go and we're going to promote and we're going to do this thing. And you know what they would say back to me? I don't have anybody working. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know if this is for me. I mean, I'm not going to quit, but I just don't know anything. And guess what Kelly would do? Dang, I must suck as a leader and I must not be. I was letting their emotions lead me instead of me being the leader and leading their emotions. Okay. They were in a sinking ship of emotion and I was making the ship go down faster by getting in the dadgum thing with them. Right. So I had to come in here and fill up my cup 5:30 every single morning, 4:30 on Wednesdays and Thursdays, because most of my team is Central and East Coast. 4:30 is not fun 2 days a week, but I'm still doing it because they're on there and they're depending on me to steer the ship, right? So I'm coming in here. Now, here's what else I had to do. At 6:30, I turn off self-development and I turn off my thinking. I have a whole lifetime of issues, of thoughts in my head, right? The Lord's done a great work. Let me just say my testimony. The Lord's done a great work, okay? And I mean, I've been in ministry. We've been doing the Lord's work and the Lord's been working on me. He's been working on me to make me what I ought to be. Okay. I'm just saying it's, you know, but hey, no matter how much work you do on yourself, there's going to still be stuff, right? Okay. So, fear was a really big deal to me because I kept staring at presidential ambassador going, I'm not even back to triple. How the heck can I even think about those things? Does anybody feel that way? And so, at 6:30, I have to tell myself to stop thinking. And if I catch myself sitting here thinking things that are not good, fearful, anxious, stressed out, guess what? If those thoughts don't serve you and serve your goal, there's no BV in stinking thinking. Okay. So you got to turn that mug off and you self-develop it from 5:30 to 6:30. But when 6:30 comes, it's not like, ding, I'm perfect and everything is wonderful inside of me. And there's not an ounce of fear or anxiety left over where the heck I'm going in my business. 25,000 volume to 250. I'm like, I don't even want to think about it. Let's don't think about it. Okay. And then I picked up my phone and I got to work. And that's the truth. From 9 to 12, I go live on my team page. I connect with all my top leaders. At least one post has gotten up for the day. But from 9 to 12, I'm connecting with my people one-on-one through my message groups and live. All my people, they've got to know I love them. They've got to know I'm behind them, that they're going in the right direction. And I'm pointing their ship, every single person's ship that was on my promoting spots. And I make a list. And not 2 days goes by that they don't hear from me. And this was a major factor in getting the momentum going and getting the job done. And then I do all the things that all of you do. Host a post, posting every day, using my stories, growing my network, fresh fish jump first. So, you know, that's what I tell my team. I'm like, hey, fresh fish jump first. The faster you get new network, those people sign up the fastest. So I would go live and teach them how. I'm like, watch this. And this is how I grow my network. And watch this. This is how I do my host to post with everything. Because if anybody was lost, that was BV in the toilet, potential in the toilet, right? So I would tell them, hey, take any discouraging thoughts. Those don't serve you. Go stick them in the toilet and flush them. Okay. Because we are going somewhere and I don't want you getting left behind. And they started to rise.
Yeah.
And we created a momentum.
I love that so much. And I think any Reds on here can relate to, like, we just want to fix it. Like, we just want to fix it, and we're doers and we're doers and we're doers, and we just want to do it until it's fixed. And I've been guilty of just like trying to self-develop until it's all developed, and then been like, okay, but it's never going to be developed. And just having that peace to know that, like, was I better today than I was yesterday? Was I better today than I was yesterday? And then shutting it off and not thinking and doing the work, right? And just being like, that was my thinking time, and now it was my work time. And separating that and that distinction was just like so big for me right now. And I just think that that's huge. I also love the fact that even at Prez and even at Ambassador, you had a list of people that you wanted to connect with. And I think that so often we just unintentionally say like, what can I do most efficiently? Well, it's not like bringing in BV to like connect with this person or that person, like, because it's like, if I spend an hour talking to this person on the phone, like that's an hour wasted of messaging. But we don't realize the impact that that hour conversation has on the BV on the retrospect, like in like 2 weeks, in 2 days, in 2 months, because the more, my husband always says, like, the more people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Yep. And so I think that that's like, so it's so big for other people to hear who are just starting to grow a team, is that no matter what rank you get to, you're never going to be above connecting with people, because that's the lifeline of your business. So what do you feel like right now that God is trying to teach you?
Um, you know, in the journey of turning off my thoughts and continuing going, right? And then we go ambassador, and then I'm like, now what? Wherever you go, there you are, right? So here I am on the other side going, and now what do you want me to do? And the answer is to keep going. But I never, if anybody's ever felt this way, I've always struggled with my why. I never hoped to be well off. I never hoped to be rich. I hoped to be okay. And I think that's really where I'm at now, especially my relationship with the Lord, is going, my hopes were so small, and now we've passed all those things that I'm like, well, dang, now what do you want me to do? Like, I'm like, I didn't write ambassador on my dream board because I didn't believe it could happen. That's the honest truth. I wrote presidential diamond because I didn't even know if that could happen. But I had to turn off my thoughts and just go to work. You know what I'm saying? So now we've come so far that I'm like, now what do I do? And of course, now my team, there's some of my, going back to what you're saying about the red thing. I talk to a lot of red people that are great enrollers, but their retention is not awesome. You want to adopt this, and you can. You want to, because do you ever
sign? What is that?
Okay, so it's kind of hard to see. This is my list of people that were like ruby, and I needed them to be diamond or double diamond or triple diamond or whatever to promote. I'm like, okay, we got to start somewhere. So everybody that's working, okay, on my chart that wants to promote, that's like, I can teach them to do something, goes on this piece of paper. And I would track their volume, the 15th, the 24th, and the 25th. And I would keep them on this list because I'm over here enrolling all these distributors and loyal customers, and I'm talking to my newbies and focused on whatever chart I'm focused on, my chunk that I'm responsible for, right? But if I didn't have this list, I'd forget about these people. And then I'd turn around and my triple diamond, one of them would be discouraged or lost or lonely or sad or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because that happens. So you think in your mind, I'm thinking, okay, Nicole's awesome. She's a rock star. She's good. And then I'm over here working, and then all of a sudden Nicole's like hurting. And I'm like, oh, shoot. And I don't even know what's going on. I'm like, oh, no, you have to know what's going on. Okay. And while this is not enrolling loyal customers and distributors, you can't go to ambassador all by yourself. You need your friends to be your friends. Okay. I know if they're sick. I know if their kids are sick. I know if they're having trouble in their marriage. I know if they're going through fertility treatments. I know if they're having babies. I know if they are thinking about getting married. I know if they want to buy a car, if they want to buy a house. I mean, I know everything. We're friends. So then when I'm talking to them or I see them post something, I've been spending most of my time lately talking to one girl who's going through fertility stuff. And I'm like, okay, girlfriend, how's it going? Let's talk about it. How you feeling? What you thinking? Like, I'm praying for her through my, voice memo. I'm like, no,
No,
that's my
I don't
friend.
mean to interrupt you, but I have to
Go
because
ahead.
I'll lose my train of thought.
Yes, go.
Okay, because here's the thing. Blues, it's easy for us to do this because it's fun and we like connecting with people. Okay.
Uh,
But I want to ask you, from what is your advice to people who aren't blue and yellow on your team who struggle, like, because connection might not be their natural thing. Like maybe they're just not
yeah.
like, they're just good at getting to work and they're not necessarily good at like worrying about other people. What is like your advice to people who struggle with that? Because it's like, I don't know how to just be like, okay, girlfriend, be my friend, tell me about your infertility, tell me, because like that's, I mean, it's, I feel like it's hard for people to just know how to do that. So what is your advice?
Totally. Yes, totally. And I do. Yes, I know exactly what you mean. So if it's not your forte, totally okay. Nothing wrong with you. Okay. Let me say, yellows, your gift is connection and encouraging people. That's a gift. Yellows are not weak. So if you feel like you're weak because you're a yellow personality, that's not true about you. Reds, you do love people. Sometimes reds have a hard time. They love people, but it's not received on the other end from reds. So sometimes they feel like they're helping and doing and talking and whatever, but their love isn't being received by the other person because they are a doer, right? So one thing I can say is the things I'm not good at, I have to write it down. Consistency, I'm not good at it. I'm just not. I'm disorganized. This is my version of organization is I have probably 10 notebooks on my counter and I use them all at different times. And the note is written somewhere, right? Like the Zoom, I have a calendar on my wall. It has to all be written. Andrew's like, you need to be digital. It's digital. I'm like, listen, you want me to show up? Let me write it down. Okay. So for reds, it's the same thing, or people that it's not naturally your forte to connect with people. We're in a people business and you can, okay? And so you might just have to write down who you need to connect with, but I had to too because I can't remember, right? So write it down. And then what I would do is look at your list and go, okay, Rachel's at the top of my list. I'll go to Rachel's social media. You can tell if Rachel is discouraged or if she's happy, if she's feeling encouraged, if it's not real and she's copying and pasting. I just go to her social media and I take a look. And I can see if I'm seeing like not typical Rachel's personality stuff in her posts, assume she's down and message her and say, hey girlfriend, just checking on you. Hey, how you doing? You see somebody's post and their kids are sick. That's on your team, on your list. Okay. Make a list of the people that are part of your promotion, the people that you're like, I can't let these people slip through the cracks. Because these people, and it's strategic. Is it manipulative? No, this is not manipulation because I would rather spend all my time being friends with everyone, to be honest with you. Okay, but it's strategic. This is my list. They have to be my friends. I have to know if they're okay or not because it impacts their business if they're not okay.
And one thing I want to say too, just as a red too, I'm red blue, but I definitely want to say, because at first when I started learning how to connect with people, I was like, if I just say, hey, how's it going? Like if a red is going to be a little bit like, it's fine. Why are you asking? Right. But not everybody will. You will be amazed. And I'm telling people who are red this, you will be amazed at how many people just want you to ask. And they just like their heart is warm just because you ask. And it's not because you're being nosy. It's not because of any of that. It's not because you think something's wrong, but it's just because it shows that you care. Okay. And so even if you don't want somebody doing that to you, like if somebody was doing that to you, like if Aaron came to me and was like, hey, I would be like, what did I do wrong? Like, what did I do wrong? And I know there's red greens on here who can feel that way, but majority of people aren't like that. Like they're just going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm doing so good. Thanks for asking. Okay. And so that is something like a barrier I wanted to break, because that's something I had to break for myself, is getting over myself and recognizing that like I'm limiting the people that I'm connecting with based on my assumption about how my questions are going to make them feel.
Right.
Okay. So just make sure that you're not assuming that they don't want that question to be asked, because they do. And asking it is always better than not asking. So just saying, hey, just checking on you. How are you doing? It's such a simple place to start. So I love that. Okay. What other tips?
And so if you're tracking the volume, okay, so I don't do this all the time, but as you're like, if you're trying to re-rank or trying to promote, this does help. So I could take a look at my volumes and look at the numbers and go, uh-oh, so-and-so is down on the 15th from this month over last month. And then I go to the leader of that person and I'm like, hey, do you know how so-and-so is doing? Are they doing okay? Because their numbers went down. And they'll go, uh-oh, I haven't talked to them in X amount of days. I'm like, oh, shoot. I message them. Hey, girlfriend. Hey, I see you. You're posting, doing a great job. How's everything going? How are you feeling like everything is doing this month? Is there anything I can do to help? Because I know their numbers are going down. I guarantee you 9 times out of 10, they're discouraged. If they're not, if their rank is going down or their volume's going down, assume they're discouraged or something's wrong and just be a friend. Message them. And like, so I do this with people that I don't even personally enroll because everybody can use a pat on the back. I'm not personally enrolled to Sherry Lynn or John, I'll call it. Okay. But I'm enrolled to Stacy, but they're my friends, right? So if they message me and tell me I did a good job, or they message me and ask me how me and Andrew are or something, I'm like, that was nice. Don't you think? If people check on you, that was nice. Now, when you reach out about the business, if she asks me for help, I'm like, oh, snap. Yeah, I got that. That's easy. Because you gave me a moment of, hey, I love you. Everybody in the world can use that. I don't care what personality they are. And I don't care if they don't like hugs. I hug them. And I'll tell them ahead of time. It's okay if I hug you. I just really want to hug you because you're really sweet and I just really like you. Okay? So you're giving hugs through your messages. Okay? And you know how to do that, even if you think it's weird. Like some people, that doesn't come naturally. I totally get it. But you know what? The people it doesn't come naturally are typically the people that need it the most. And a lot of times that happens. So it does impact your business. And if this is not your forte, or you find yourself forgetting people, or you sign a list of DTs, like I was writing on my steps to success, my DTs I've signed this month, I'm like, oh shoot, I can't remember the next person. I already forgot one of the people I just signed. I'm gonna have to look at my eSuite. I don't remember who it was. It's easy to do. And the trick is that if you have big goals and you're trying to re-rank or promote, you can't afford to lose anyone in the cracks. Every single person you enroll matters. I mean, one loyal customer matters. You know what I mean? So, but just checking their social media, tracking their volume, paying attention to the list. What rank are they on the 15th of the month? What rank are they on the 25th or the end of the month? Is it going in the right direction? Okay. What were they last month and what are they now? Assume they're discouraged. Hey, I'm so excited for this season. We're going to reload and this is going to explode in January. I'm excited to do this with you. Just want you to know I love you and I see your hard work. That's all it takes. You know what I mean? Pat them on the back. We're doing this thing. I'm in it with you. We're locking arms. Whether we're working every single day together or not, I'm with you. And you ain't going alone unless you choose to. You know what I'm saying?
That's so good. That's so good. Is everybody getting stuff from this? Like, this is so good. Okay. So I don't know. Did you answer the question? What is God teaching you?
I'm at a redreaming place.
Redreaming.
Because I honestly, I've not really ever had like a real why. I came for $55 a month and I kept asking Lord, but you know, along the way, what I can say is who I've become, I wouldn't have become without this business in my life because it shines a light on all the things you don't even know are there, you know? And if you don't grow them, you don't go forward. You can't hide from what's on the inside, you know? So I'm just at a redreaming place, but I feel like also I'm excited. I'm ready.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh.
What do you think, like for you right now, like what's working for you, like in the season for enrollments?
So growing my network is always going to be when people say they're stuck and they're not enrolling. Growing your network, it is what makes everything change the fastest. It just, in a massive way. I'm still doing host to post on Facebook. I do still use my Instagram, telling my story, making videos, or going live. honestly, any type of video, I feel like is causing a major impact. And this might sound dumb, and you guys have probably talked about it, but the list that Claire gave at Green Carpet for writing your story, do you know what I'm talking about on the panel? A lot of times I've just copied other people's stories and then I cut out their portion and insert mine. Cause I'm like, I don't know how else to keep saying the same thing over and over and over. I don't know. Also, you asked me about where I'm at now is telling my story. I've never told it because my mom is on social media. My dad passed away. My mom's on social media. And I can't really talk as freely as we are right now because it hurts her. So finding out what the Lord wants me to do to use that and how I can use it and not have it affect her. That's something else. Because I do feel like it's a testimony that can bless people, so that is part of where I'm at right now is figuring that out. But Claire said, telling your story, the outline, this was helpful to me. So I'm utilizing this and going back and asking myself the questions as I write my stories, and I try to write them different every time. And when I do, people message me about the business. What was life like before it works? How did you find it works? What held you back? How is your life different now? Invite them. My stories were never that long when I would write them. They're always like 2 paragraphs. I don't know. But 5 paragraphs, I was like, oh, all of a sudden I can think of all kinds of things to say.
Yeah.
So I felt like that was super helpful. And when I stop and focus and do that, like give myself some time to think, people will message me with that.
What do you go live about?
Well, all kinds of things. Like, what I'm learning, like in my relationship with the Lord, like what, if I'm reading a book or I heard a sermon or something caught me, or, you know what I mean? On the inside, I'll go live about that. Or, whatever we're doing in the day, if it's something fun, like we went to Utah this past weekend and rented a cabin. So I went live up there. I go live and I'll tell my story, or I'll go live and make my products. Not rocket science, like, just normal stuff. But the trick is that you're just being you, and it gets you from behind the script, behind the text replacement. You come out from behind the text replacement and you're like, hey, I'm normal. Want to see inside my house? Like, you know what I mean? See me in my pajamas. You're invited to my house for coffee.
Yeah, I think there's so much truth to that. It's like so many times people see us, like our filtered pictures and the apps and whatever, and it's like, oh, well, I just saw her and she's no different than me. And if she's doing it, why can't I? So I love that. I love that so much. What is something that you would say to somebody who maybe is not maintaining a rink, or is but sees it? They like are discouraged, but they know where they're going, but like just in this season right now, it just feels like long.
Yeah. And it don't feel good. I get it. Man, I get it. And my heart just breaks because I'm like, man, I was kind of lost. I was really lost. But here's the answer. The answer is, if you have been in the business for a little bit, let's say, and your rank has dropped down, even if, let's say you're Ruby and you have enrolled loyal customers and distributors, that means you know how to do this business. You're diamond, double diamond, triple diamond, presidential ambassador, and you've dropped down to, double or diamond or ruby or whatever. I mean, I get it, but you know how to do this better than you think you do. The trick is you're thinking. You can't think. There's no BV in it. There's no change in it. There's no magic wand that puts the LCs, 75 DTs and thousands of volume and LCs on your chart. It's literally one LC, one DT at a time. And you have to stop your thoughts and go, I'm choosing. It's a choice. What you think is a choice. The Bible says you take every thought captive, every single one, and you get to choose to let it stay or to toss it in the toilet. Anything that didn't serve me. Okay, if my distributors messaged me from a negative place, like discouraged, I'm just discouraged. I need a pep talk. I don't know what to do. I need a pep talk. I don't even respond. I couldn't respond in that season. I just couldn't. I love you. That's it. I can't respond because you're choosing. This is what Pam told me. You have to choose to go to a new place on the inside. And they either are forced to rise with you or they drop off. Either way, you can't do this in fear. Fear stops your thoughts. It stops your creativity. It makes you hole up and freak out. And guess what? You can't do your best. You can't be your best, okay, at this business if you're, oh, shoot, what am I going to do? And this sucks. My paycheck is down and my team, and I only have, here's what I said to my daughter Nova the other day. She did testing at school. Like after the first week in school, they did this testing, right? And she came home crying, okay? And she normally does awesome. She's like, Mom, I did my best. And she's like, and I still didn't do good enough. And I thought you were going to be mad at me. And I said to her, Nova, your best is always good enough. That's what I want you to do, is your best. Just do your best every single time. Because here's what I would say to you. You do your best in all the aspects of this business, and your best will get better. Because I've asked myself the question, okay, what if my best isn't enough? Like, what if it's not enough to get me to triple presidential ambassador or whatever, and so on? You know, what if it was like a fluke? People just, were working and I didn't do it and whatever. That's not true. I work my honey off, okay? But, and then that's not true about you, but still, the thoughts come up. But if you're not doing your best doesn't get better. So what I would say to you is you have to go to a new level of all in and giving your best, and don't be afraid if your best isn't enough, because it's the only way your best can get better. And there's nothing wrong with you. Nothing wrong with you, boo. It's all the same tasks that everybody else does. The same scripts we steal from each other. The same posts we steal from each other. Okay? And we share and we, all that kind of stuff. We're all doing the same thing, same task. It's just what you think. What you think you can't do, you can't do. Yeah. What you think you can, you can. And you just have to turn off your thoughts and get to it.
I love that.
Get to it.
So much. I love that. Is there any last things you want to add? If not, I'm going to close this out in prayer.
Here's what I would say. This is my heart, okay, is if you've ever made mistakes in your life, because this I feel like comes up a lot just in passing with people. If you've made mistakes, made decisions that you're like, make you feel like you're not worthy of being a leader. Oh, if people only knew what I've done, if people only knew what mistakes or bad choices I've made, if people only knew where I came from, people only knew, you know what I mean? Sometimes things happen to you. Sometimes you choose to do things that, you're not proud of. None of that determines your future, your success in this business, anything. None of it. There is no judgment placed on you other than what you're doing to yourself. And you need to remove that, sister, because none of that is true. God is for you, and you can't stop what he has for you, okay? But also at the same token, he can't do the work for you. He's for you, but he can't do the work for you, right? And so I thought, man, I'm over here working my tail off. I can't, I was a good kid and I love people. Why isn't he blessing my business? I wasn't all in. I was stuck in my mindset, and I wasn't hustling my hiney like I, know how I can capable of. You got to hustle. You do. You got to talk to a lot of people, but you can. Nothing you've done, nothing that's ever been done to you determines what you can or can't do. Okay. And you're never going to get to the place where you feel like you're some sort of leader to go triple diamond. I've heard a lot of people say when they're stuck at a certain rank, well, I guess I'm just, in the Lord's timing, because I'm just not the leader to be a triple diamond yet. That's not true. You just ain't working hard enough, sister. Anybody, good person or not good person, can be whatever rank they want to be. Do you know what I'm saying? But I want you to lift that lid off of yourself and know that there is not anything you could have ever done in your whole lifetime, and I don't care how bad it is. None of it determines your position and your success. Okay? You have to just turn off your thoughts. Develop them for an hour in the morning. Get your honey up, even if you're not a morning person. All successful entrepreneurs, they get up in the morning. I'm like, okay, I'm getting up in the morning, right? Get up in the morning. Develop that mug because you need growth. Then turn it off. Any thoughts that don't serve you, don't allow them because you can.
I love that. So good. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. I know so many people needed to hear everything that you said, and I know I did. And so I'm just going to close this out in prayer. Dear Jesus, I just want to say thank you so much for Kellie. Thank you so much for the way that you're using her. And thank you, Kellie, just for the way you're allowing the Lord to use you. I just ask that every single person who's listening to this, who's on our teams that's not listening to this, that they just feel the love that we just have for them, and that they know that they're never alone in this business, and that just as you are for them, that we are for them as well. And just to help us, Lord, turn off our thoughts and go to your word, because that is what is true. And if any thoughts do enter our mind, that we do take them captive and we turn to your truth. We turn to your word, and we know that what you said is always better than what we are saying about ourselves. We are daughters of a king. We are your daughters. We are more than conquerors. We are warriors. And so let us all remember that tonight. And just for the rest of 2019, may we just finish strong. I ask that you bless Kellie's business abundantly, and bless all of our businesses in ways that we couldn't even ask or imagine. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Love you so much. Thank you.
I
really appreciate you taking the time. I know it was the last day of the month, so it was not ideal, but I really appreciate it.
All good, sister. Thanks for having me.
Yes. Bye, girl.